Welcome back to the Girls Gone Wise podcast. This is part 3 of Being Stingy Keeps You Broke. If you missed part 1 and 2, swing back to those. We're your hosts, Jill
and Rogine. Today, we'll dive into why chasing money often keeps people stuck in lack and how true abundance begins with identity, safety, trust, and the energy behind how you receive, spend, give, and hold money.
Let's get into it.
The most abundant person in the world is not the person who has everything, it's the person who needs nothing. Like, if you don't need the approval, if you don't need that opportunity, if you don't need that promotion, then it doesn't matter. But if you need like something outside of yourself, then no matter how high you go in the hierarchy, there's always like a bigger guy or a more important person who will have control over you.
100%. And it's coming back to finding the power within it and not, it's interesting because if we use the acting examples, I was talking to my mom about this recently. I said, I noticed things shifted for me in a negative direction when I started looking for validation from my agents or from people, and they always shifted in the positive direction when I was like, I don't need your validation.
And that's universal. It's not just in acting, it's in everything.
It's literally in everything. And so it's honestly all about finding our power within, taking people off a pedestal, taking money off a pedestal. That was another thing.
Yeah.
The moment we like idolize it or put it on a pedestal, it's like we're like
distancing yourself subconsciously from it. You're creating this like vacuum of like, I'm here, what I want is there, and I'm gonna remove myself because I don't feel worthy. And then also rejection will hurt more because you want it so much, so you subconsciously protect yourself from getting rejected. So but if you don't care, you're actually gonna walk in, have a nice chat with the hiring manager. Next thing you know, you're hired. But because it's because your identity wasn't attached to getting that job, so you didn't actively sabotage yourself by being anxious or avoidant.
100%. And I think this holds so many people back because all it is sensation. And perception, it's like, oh, it wasn't the right fit. It's not rejection. It's like, oh, it wasn't the right fit. Doesn't matter why, but we take it so personally. And I think this holds a lot of people back in all areas of their life, actually.
This was a very interesting episode because we started with money, but then we branched out to so many things, but the core message remains the same. It's like, what am I worthy of? Like, what do I deserve? Do I deserve to chase $2 or do I deserve to? So it's the same thing, even though like we talked about relationships, work, acting, even though we started with money, but it's the same principle.
It's the same principle. And you know what's so interesting? I just had a memory pop up when somebody I know, I don't want to give too many details. I was with their partner's family. How do I say this without saying it? And
please don't say it. We don't want anyone to know who we're talking about.
Nobody's gonna know. So we were out to dinner. They took me to dinner when I was in theater school, and they told me that this person, they said I wasn't okay. They're a very wealthy family, and they said I wasn't a good guest because I felt so bad. They're like, order things like, and I was like, oh no, like maybe you'll just get like, I don't know, like a soda water. And they're like order whatever you want. And they're like, so-and-so is a really good guest because they're ordering what they want. And I was like, so uncomfortable. And this family, like, you wouldn't know that they built really, really successful businesses, multiple, like in this world, but you wouldn't know because they're very humble, but they also like value themselves and they're not going to be like, oh, I don't want that, and I'll just like get like a pop and everyone else can eat. They're like, no, what do you want? Like, be a good guest, be like so and so.
But because to you, being a good guest was not costing them money. but they're so abundant that they don't care about the money. You being nervous, sitting there and like changing the energy field is actually costing them money, because their money, their currency is energy. So you were actually costing them their version of money, which was the energy in the room, whereas like your version of it was like, I'm going to be a good guest if I don't order the tomahawk, even though they would have loved for you to order the Barolo and the, you know, like the yeah.
That's it. And so it's like, this is why I believe people invest in like country clubs or like, you
relationships.
know, relationships. It's like they want to be in an environment, because I used to think it was stupid, and I grew up with this club that I skated at that I actually ended up joining last minute, but I was like, why would anybody invest that much money, blah blah blah. But you're investing for the environment, because people at a certain level, and it's not like, oh, better than, but they have character traits, they have self-respect, they have respect for other people. Like,
it's like you're paying for that institution to filter people out. So anyone that's there, they've already been vetted. It's like a vetting system. It's not even for doing like playing sports or like it's not for the rooms, it's not for the like all these amenities that they have. I mean, that's extra, but it's more like a person who belongs to this institution. We've already vetted that they are worthy of your trust. It's more like they're selling trust. You enter that like yacht club, and you're like, anybody who is here, they're like past a certain threshold. They're not. So you're and the membership is like $40,000 a year, but it's the price you pay for having access to that filter.
Exactly. And it's a filtering fee. It's actually the business, I think it's a business word or phrase, filtering fee. And it's interesting because, you know, maybe you meet people there. I've watched somebody do this very well, who is like part of different clubs, and I used to judge them, and I was like, wow, this person's so smart. They've met business people there. They're not there with intention, but they do business together because somebody who's like successful in business has a certain mindset and certain belief structures. They don't do business with somebody who's super stingy because it won't align, and you can't build anything if you're like, oh, the money's never going to come back if I invest in this in an assistant for however many hours. And it's like crazy, the thought constructs that come up sometimes.
I also know they're not con artists. So like if you on the street someone tells me, oh, come invest in my business, I'm like, I don't know you, maybe you like take my money and like leave the country. But if they've been like a member of this yacht club that's prestigious for like 10 plus years, I know that yacht club knows where they live, who they are, what their job is, who their family members are. So I know that that person is not going to take my $30,000 and run away. Again, it's like a cost that you, like, it's the price you pay 100%. For trust. And it's very valuable. Trust is very valuable. We lose a lot of money in a society on a daily basis because we can't trust everybody. Like you literally buy a lock for your bicycle and you pay money for it simply because you don't trust that no one's going to steal it. But imagine if everybody trusted each other, we would save so much money. Insurance, a lot of not everything, a lot of it is just natural disaster, but like a lot of it is because we have mistrust, like we don't trust each other. So that, I think that whole business model is based on the fact that like, okay, we're gonna like guarantee trust, and that's what we're charging for. And of course 100%. We'll have a pool, and we have, you know, like a golf course, but that's not all of it.
That's not all of it, because you could go to a pool for like relationship.
You can go to a public pool and kind of have like the same, not the same, but you know what I mean. But it's not worth $40,000 a year, you know, like so you're not paying for the pool.
It's like you said it so well. It's a vetting system. It's a built-in vetting system, and you'll realize like,
and someone who wants to save $2 off a thing of cheese is not going to do that. So so you're never going to get into business with someone who will like
complain about why is it so expensive. It's like, well, is the investment or the cost expensive? Because the cost is like not having, you know, there's the price, or I like the word investment better, and then there's the cost of not doing the thing, right? This is not just with money, this is with our health. There's like, you know, there's a cost if you're gonna like put unhealthy food in your body all day, every day, not eat anything healthy ever. Like there's a cost to that, right? And so I mean, even with money, sure, McDonald's every day might be cheaper, but like there's a cost
Yeah.
that's far greater on your health than investing in organic food and all of these things. So yeah, it's so interesting because I mean, it really is the way we look at the world and the filters and belief systems we choose to look through that create our reality. Because it's not just like woo woo. It's not like, oh, just showed up. It's like, no, you became the person that believed in that it would work one day. So you kept showing up for 3 years, 2 years. Well, nobody was looking, nobody was clapping. You believed that it's not, oh,
you don't have to show up for yourself before other people show up for you.
100%. And it's not the person that's like, oh, I'm not worthy of that because, or like, who needs it to be perfect first? Because there's always growth. And I think when like entrepreneurship, you learn that it's not like getting it right every single time in perfectionism. That's actually a trap. There's always growth. How do we refine? How do we grow?
And be okay when you make mistakes. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's like, oh, somebody saw me make a mistake, and okay, if they laugh at me, it's more like, someone who's above you is never gonna laugh at you because they've gone through the journey. So if someone's making fun of you, is because they probably didn't have the guts to start what you're starting. So it's just like their insecurity, like acting out based on insecurity.
100%.
But I've never been in a situation when someone who's more successful than me, especially in the field that I'm trying to have a, like move up in, would like judge me for making a mistake. If anything, they're like very nurturing. They're just very like, oh, that happened to me too. When I started, I was also like that too. If anything, it's almost more like a icebreaker situation when they're like, and then you're like, oh my God, yes, isn't it so stressful? Like I'm literally hyperventilating. They're like, yeah, that happened to me too, girl. Like that happened to me 5 years ago when I started. It's always the haters are always the people who just like will never even have the discipline and the work ethic to even start anything.
100%. That's why if you talk to somebody who's a mentor and something you've created, they're like, oh yeah, like that's just part of the path. And we think, oh, it's just this big thing, and it's like, no, they had to walk through it too. And we put people sometimes on pedestals thinking that they were just there. We're all human, and if we look at it like, okay, this isn't perfect, or I want to be better. And I think this is actually a thing with artists, is that it's never going to be
it's never
enough.
No,
like I've struggled with that as an artist, and I'm like, oh, it's always in process. It's
actors, writers, painters, it's never ready for it to, like, you just have to like, it's kind of like your child. They're never ready to go to school. Like when they're 7, you just have to like accept that they're gonna, have to confront the world, and they're not ready, but they're gonna grow, and they're gonna go through the experiences, and they're gonna live, and they're gonna learn. It's the same thing with your art or your craft, because it's never gonna be perfect. So if you hold on to it, it's kind of like cuddling your baby. You're like, you never let her go to school. You never let her like experience life. You need to learn, let your art experience the world. And sometimes it's not easy, and it's not it's tough. It can be mean out there, it can be horrible out there, but it shapes and like it evolves and it grows as it confronts like different obstacles.
100%.
Just like human beings, we that happened to me before too. When I'm not ready for something, I actually learned swimming when I was like little. I was so scared of water, like so scared, especially cold water, and like in the pool. And I remember my mom just like pushed me because I was never going to jump. Obviously she was taking like, there was like, it was a pool, and like there was a coach, and like the coach was trying to get me to like jump, like the instructor, but my mom just knew that I'm not going to do it. So I'm just going to come up with excuses. She just pushed me, and I'm forever grateful. Otherwise I would never be able to learn how to swim, because I was I was waiting for a perfect moment as a 6-year-old child to jump, and that water was not going to get any warmer.
100%.
And that sometimes you just have to do it. And with art too, you just have to send it.
I literally wrote down here, leap of faith, like jump, just start, because you're never gonna feel ready. And it's so interesting. There's somebody who is very successful that I know, well, you know too, you might know who I'm talking about. And they something that was really humbling for me is I just thought they were always successful and and they were, but it was really the mindset that got them there. And they had some jobs when they were younger of like being a trucker and working on the oil rigs, and then, you know, went to like law school later and applied at this firm, and they were like, well, we don't hire articlers, and they're like, well, we can maybe help you get a different job. And this person's like, no, it's okay. Got a different job, and within like 2 years, he was the managing partner of the initial law firm. It easily could have been like, oh, I'm rejected. I'm not
But it's such
good
a
enough.
tough journey. Like, imagine if you start your journey and the beginning is like, I have to be a trucker. It's really hard to not give up if you think about like, oh, how am I gonna get there? You just have to do it one step at a time. It's like, it's really scary. Like right now, this is really scary if I want to think about, oh, what I actually want to be.
Yeah.
Like where we want to go with this.
100%.
All I'm thinking about right now is like, oh, the next time I'm gonna show up to our humble studio and start talking about life and wisdom, you know, like, so I think with your example, it's really great that I'm sure the first day he was just worried about how am I going to operate the truck? How I'm going to go from point A to point. He wasn't thinking about becoming a managing partner because he would just be too scared.
100%. It was day by day, and how you do one thing, I believe, is how you do everything. So like, it's not, this is why I think a lot of the athletes, like pro athletes, they go into business and they're very successful because there's so much discipline and devotion learned in athleticism. And it's like you start to apply that.
They make good employees because they know how to work in teams.
100%.
And like get along with people and like give and take and
100%. And leadership, like if
leadership.
It's I've noticed that a lot of say like team captains turn into like the leader of a company because there's skills that they build, but it's not like they just dropped in, they were just perfect from day one, or a Olympic athlete from day one. Like, can you imagine? I actually, when I used to figure skate, there was Olympians that trained at the rink I skated at, and it's like, can you imagine they just were that good when they were born?
Yeah.
It's like, no, the amount of time and devotion that nobody sees behind the scenes is what makes it look easy and simple and seamless. But it's really they're focusing their energy. And I think it's constantly refocusing your energy and where it's useful. Like, thoughts will always come up of self-doubt and this and that, but do you let them stop you and drain your energy, or do you show up the next day and give it another try and give it your best try and continue to do it? And I think that's why it's important for us to really love what we are doing and creating. I don't know anyone really who loves what they're doing, who like isn't successful in that area. And it could be, I mean, success could look different to everybody. Like it could be, somebody could be a cleaner and love their job and do very well at that, and that could be success to them. They could be a CEO of a company. But I think, this is just my perspective, I think if we're only doing it for results and validation, it won't withstand the time, you know. But if we do it for something deeper and more meaningful, or just for the love of the craft, then success long term is inevitable because we just keep showing up.
Keep showing up.
Do you have any final things to add about money?
I wish we talked more about money. We started with money and then we started, but I like it. I like how it just evolved from there. But money's energy anyway, so
money is energy. And I wrote down, maybe we can do this on another podcast. I can read my writing now. Natural law and the bear. You know, when that person got attacked by a bear in nature, and they.
Yeah.
We'll talk after this show. Coming back with the bear situation.
Bear situation.
Oh,
I know who you're talking about.
It's about leadership.
Yeah. Okay.
So
the way they reacted to the bear attack or potential bear attack saved their life. That one, you're talking about that person, right?
Yes. Yes.
Because even a bear who's not a human being read that energy.
Yeah, because there's a natural law in nature, and it's how grounded we are. There's a presence to it, right?
Of course.
People follow leaders. I'm not talking about bosses, but leadership. It's Animals respond to this. Horses
Animals
respond to
can
this.
feel when you're scared. That's why when you run away, they actually like get more confident and chase and pounce. I've seen videos of where people mimic being like stronger or like screaming and being louder. The animal actually starts like going the other direction because they're like, oh, they're staying their ground. They're powerful. But when you
Yes.
run, it's like the highest chance of not surviving animal attack when you
Exactly.
run away. Yeah.
Exactly. And it shows like kind of lower status when we run away because it's fear, right?
And we do that in our lives too. When
Yeah,
we're like, when your boss knows that you're scared of him, they actually end up like, if they have that aspect to their personality, like psychopathy, they will take advantage of you way easier and way more often if they know that you're scared of them.
100%. I feel like that's what happened to me at those jobs because I was so afraid and giving away all my power, and of course, like I felt I was quite good at my job, but they would take advantage of that. And so they knew I wouldn't speak up for myself and all of these things. Yeah, perhaps we could circle around to another episode in due course on abundance. Because there's more things I want to share. But I think that was powerful and exactly what we needed to share today. So our next episode, should I share?
Sure.
The games women play and men fall for. And should I share more?
Sure.
Some things that we're going to talk about are sexual manipulation, the validation drip, the difference between standards and boundaries, how men control the gate to relationship and commitment, and women control the gate to
Sex and affection.
And essentially how to step into a healthy dynamic in love and not fall for the manipulation. I know I have learned a lot of lessons in this.
I think we're all human. We all have.
I had it so wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys. Any
very
final
much.
words? We'll see you next week on the Girls Gone Wise podcast, learning from all of our mistakes that we wish.
So you don't have to.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening to the Girls Gone Wise podcast, where we share our life lessons so that you can learn from our mistakes. We'll see you next week.